Okay, is this working? I can't tell. There's a little bit of a delay, but I hope this is working. I'm trying a new software for today's show. I can't tell if it's working. I'm seeing a few things that are troubling on my side, but hopefully on your side it's all good. I'm going to keep rolling. So, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Good morning. This is the 16th day of March. This is what episode is this? This is the 53rd episode of season 3 of the Be Your Own Hero show. Season 3 is all about doing. That's the theme for season 3. It's about doing. So, in other words, taking action. And hero, the hero in the title, Be Your Own Hero show, hero is an acronym. It means helping everyone reaps optimism. In other words, helping others helps you. Helping others helps you. It's a reciprocal action. So I'm your host. I'm Sekou Wrights. I'm a professional creative and the creator of what we're now calling the Hero Ministry Movement. The Hero Ministry Movement. And that's my effort to uplift and inspire the unhoused community in general and also people, just people who want to be uplifted and inspired. And so also I need to shout out New Thought Media Network for allowing me this opportunity and this space and this platform to talk about my journey of becoming my own hero. It's been truly a blessing. Shout out to New Thought Media Network. And also, if you want to support them, go to N as in Nancy, T as in Tom, media.org, make a donation. It is a 501c3 nonprofit, so please contribute to New Thought Media Network. Okay, so all that said, just a reminder, I am not a personal trainer, nor am I a financial advisor, so do your own due diligence. And if this show provides any value, please like, please comment, and especially please share. And if this show provides any value, oh, did I say that already? Yes, I did. I said that already. So if this provides any value, please like, please comment, and please share. And join me here Monday through Friday, 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time, 8:45 a.m. Central, and 7:45 a.m. Mountain. All right, so that's all my introductory stuff. I hope this is working because I'm still seeing some troubling things on my side. We're just going to push through. I hope it's all good on your side. So, where are we? Hero Ministry Movement News. So today is day 289 of my run streak. That means I've been running every day, at least a mile a day for now 289 days in a row. I have not missed a single day. I'm very excited about that, very proud of myself. And incorporated within that run streak, I've done 3 different successful charity runs. So I'm really excited about that. I've been using my physical abilities, newfound physical abilities, by the way, to generate prosperity and abundance and wealth for others. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm looking for my next assignment. I've got a couple things percolating, and I think there's going to be at least 1, maybe 2 more charity runs within my run streak before I get to day 365, which is my goal, getting to day 365. I'm at 289, trying to get to 365. And I'm closer to 365 than I am to day 1, so feeling very optimistic. Okay, so that's that. That's my run streak. And what else? Oh, so I was talking about Brown Boy Mad, which is my play. Hopefully you've seen it or snippets of it by now. You can also follow at Brown Boy Mad on Facebook and on Instagram. It's in both places, and there's content there you can watch. You can actually watch the full staged reading of Brown Boy Mad on Instagram and also on American Legacy Network. American Legacy Network, in case you're unfamiliar, is like an African American version of Netflix or Hulu. And they have really old school, impactful films like Ruby Dee, Ossie Davis, some really, really great films. So check them out. And they also have the stage reading of Brown Boy Mad. Okay, so check that out. I also wanted to show this photo again. My mom asked who took this photo. There we go. So I'll say this: there are some other ancillary benefits. So one of the actresses in the film, actually, in the play, let me put it back up. So right there in the middle, with her hand kind of over her face, she has decided that she wants to perform the monologue that she. Oh, I'm back. Okay, so she wants to perform the monologue that she performed in my play for a beauty pageant that she's going to be in. That's very exciting. So instead of reading, let's say, a monologue from For Color Girls or some other known show, she's going to read from my show, which is very exciting. And it gives it life outside of just the playhouse. So I'm excited about that. I'm also excited that a friend of mine, Reverend Curry, came there and he liked my play so much that he stayed after to tell me all the different things he liked about it and the fact that it has inspired in him a sermon. So again, to have my play inspire a sermon in a reverend is really exciting. So I'm excited at all the different elements of this play and how it's trickling out to all these different places. So that's a little bit more about Brown Boy Mad. And what else did I want to talk about? Oh, I wanted to talk about this. So this is a photo that I showed yesterday on my show. So on the Tuesday show, I showed this photo of my friend Isabel and I. Isabel and I in high school were best dressed, Mr. and Mrs. Best Dressed. They called it Mr. GQ and Miss Vogue. Yes, Mr. GQ, Miss Vogue. So anyway, we linked up here in Nashville and we got coffee together and we recreated the photo. I'm going to add the photo to the stream so you can see it. But guess what I just realized? And I'm excited about it, and I'm grateful for that serendipity. Okay. All right. Next up, we got the envelope challenge. So let's do this dice roll. We're gonna do it live for the people at home. We're rolling this die rather. Easy day. The number is one. The number is one. Easy day. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna transfer $1 from your checkings over to your savings account, a brand new savings account. You're gonna use that account to save up money to invest and then invest it. Don't just save it up. Save it up to invest it. All right. So that's the envelope challenge. We're still going strong with that. And moving on to Mornings In. So I'm actually pre-recording this on Tuesday, so I haven't done my Mornings In for tomorrow morning yet, right? But I was thinking about something today that I want to share. There's a person that I discovered on social media, and what she does is interview inspirational people. And I was really inspired by the person she interviewed in this particular episode. This black man was unhoused for a very long time, ended up sleeping in his car for 2.5 years, and now he's a multimillionaire. What? Yes. So I was very interested in that trajectory from going from unhoused to multimillionaire. And one of the things he says is that he was at a gas station putting gas in his car slash home, and an unhoused man asked him for money. And even though he had money to pay for his gas, he said to the unhoused man, "Hey man, you've got more money than I do." And so the unhoused man made a face, and then he said back to the protagonist in this story, "Change your mindset, change your life." And so our protagonist kept thinking about that. Said he played over his mind, and then he started thinking, so if I just change everything that I think and everything I do, I can change my life. And he did. And he became a multimillionaire. So his journey is fascinating. But what made me think about this interview was specifically the fact that the interviewer, the woman who runs the series on YouTube, asked him, why all this wealth? Why all this abundance? Why this big mansion? Why this nice car? Why all the trappings of success? And he said, this is just an outward expression of how I feel about myself. And I'm adding on, it's an outward expression of abundance. It's an outward expression of wealth. Like when you change how you think and feel about wealth and abundance internally, it will manifest, it will show up, it will outpicture around you. And that is the truest expression of it. And the greatest response to, well, why do you need all this stuff? It's not about needing it or wanting it. It simply is because my feeling tone, my inner spirit is in tune with abundance. And therefore it shows up in all ways, all around me. Powerful, right? Powerful. Anyway, very cool story. I'm glad I stumbled across it. So, look, that's the shadow of the laptop right in front of me. The sun is right there on the other side of the room. Anyway, all right, so back to it. So that's my kind of morning's in. It'll be morning for you, but that's my story about this man who lived in Texas and was unhoused, lived in his car for 2.5 years, and now is a multimillionaire with 9 different streams of income. Message, remember we talked about remember we talked about millionaires having 7 different streams of income. The interviewer asked him that. He was like, yeah, I got 9. One of which is charging $10,000 an hour as a consultant. I mean, the sky's the limit. Anything is possible. You've got to change your mindset to believe in the abundance that can be yours. Anyway, 9 different streams of income. We're going to get back to our how-to guide so we can add another source of income to our revenue stream. All right, so anyway, that's that. And then a quick one from, piggybacking on that whole concept that we just talked about in terms of the man who changed his life from being unhoused to a multimillionaire. The first chapter of The Science of Getting Rich, you've heard me talk about this book a lot, and I've actually created a podcast about it, Get Rich 101. Line 1, page 1, chapter 1 is you have the right to be rich, not just comfortable, not just okay, but rich. And you've got to really reach for that concept because I know it's difficult. Most of us, myself included, we're not raised to think that way. So you got to reach for it. But you deserve to be rich. And that richness is an outpicturing of how you feel about yourself, your internal wealth feeling zone. All right? Okay, so that's that. Moving on to TikTok. I've been giving these little quotes from TikTok recently. I'm not promoting TikTok or anything. I'm just saying, if you're going to use social media, you can set up social media in a way such that it benefits you. So what I got from, I think this was from Gary Vaynerchuk recently, was give, ask. He said that most of the people on social media are asking for something. Buy my book, watch my show, do this, do that, do this, do that. And he suggests that you give as much as you can, give as much value as you can, give as much insight, give as much insight, as much wisdom, as much as you can. Give, and then ask for something instead of ask, give. So that's a good lesson for all of us to remember, those of us that are active on social media. Okay, so moving on to abundance. All right, so time to do the affirmation. Oh, I don't have the affirmation loaded into this system. That's one thing I forgot. So we're just going to have to say it. I am so happy and grateful to be a multimillionaire in every area of my life. Pause. Now, if you watch Tony Robbins talk about affirmations versus incantations, you will see that he changes his entire body language. His point is that affirmations, that's just recitation. That's just reciting the same words over and over again. That's not strong enough to reach your subconscious to affect change in your life. You've got to emote it. You've got to emote it. And that's why I usually read the affirmation twice, but I haven't said this in a while. So I'm saying it again. So we said the affirmation once. That was a recitation to get the words right. But for the second time, you've got to try to feel it. You've got to reach for the feeling tone. I'm so happy and grateful to be a multimillionaire in every area of my life. Right? You got to feel it. And when you can imbue the words with that feeling tone, that's when it starts to work. That's what all the experts say across the board. Tony Robbins and everyone else, they all say you have to attach the feeling to the words. That's the secret ingredient. All right. So there's going to be a quiz later when we do this again tomorrow. All right. So moving on. Quick reminder: if you only spend what, you'll stay poor. If you only save what, you'll stay middle class. You must invest if you want to change your life and change your financial future. Okay, so what do I have to say about abundance today? Not a whole lot, I don't think. So here's a reminder of something I said a few weeks ago, that when you're studying Japanese candlesticks, which are a way to read the stock market, Japanese candlesticks are designed to help you understand the mood of the market, to not think about it in terms of individual companies like Lexus versus AT&T, not think about it that way, but to think about the market as a whole living organism, if you will. The mood of the market. What is the mood of the market? And so the mood of the market is kind of down. It's kind of sad. Like the events of the world overseas are pulling the market down. And as I've been saying, this is an opportunity to think of the market being down differently. As opposed to thinking of it as a time to panic, it can be a time to prosper, another P word, to prosper. So that's a mindset shift. And I want to read this quote. What's important in market fluctuations is not the event themselves, but people's reactions to the event. What's important in market fluctuations is not the events themselves, but people's reactions to the events. So we know what's going on over there, overseas. We know what's going on in the world. And the way people are reacting is the typical ways that people react. People are glued to the news and worrying and being upset. And that's driving the market down, right? There is a tangible effect in the stock market. But the wisdom that we've accumulated over the course of this show, reading about the stock market and studying it, is that that's when you need to be proactive. When other people are pulling back, you need to push forward. So again, do your own research, but I encourage you to think about it in that new way. Okay, so that said, I've done a couple things. I'm not going to tell you what I've done yet because I kind of broke my own advice. What I had been saying was that I was pulling back and focusing only on index funds. And that has been true, except that right now everything is on sale in the stock market. So I've been trying to acquire a couple full shares of a few different stocks while they're on sale. So I'll report back on that later. You already know that I got a full share of Netflix. I got a full share of something else that I will divulge later. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so moving on, I mentioned that someone asked me about investing a deposit. Like they're going to get a deposit back from an apartment and they're thinking about investing it rather than spending it in all the usual ways, which I think is super important. That is a testament to shifting your mindset, like not doing the same thing you usually do. So in terms of that, there are a couple percentages I want to remind us of. The first one comes from Shaq. I can't remember who he said gave it to him, but the percentage that I got from Shaq was 25 and 75. So keep 25% of that income and do whatever you want with it, but 75% of it invested. So in this particular case, you get a deposit back from the apartment you just moved out of. Keep 75, put that in your checking. Keep 25, put that in your checking, and invest 75%. Okay? So then the next question is, where do you invest the 75%? And I'm going to remind you of another percentage that I got from a luminary. This one is from Warren Buffett. And he suggests 90% in index funds and 10% in bonds. That's it. So you got 100% of your 75%, right? 100% of that, whatever that number is. You can divide that into 90% and 10%. If you want to follow the path of Warren Buffett. So index funds, we've talked about those a lot. So just really briefly, they are funds that have a lot of companies in them, so you get exposure to all those companies in one shot without having to buy them individually. And you get them at a discount because they would be much more expensive if you bought individual shares of all 500 of those stocks, if you're talking about the S&P 500, for example. Okay, so we won't go any further into that. Now, the question becomes, what your goal is. And I used to get so frustrated when people would respond about me asking for investment wisdom with, well, what's your goal? And so I imagine that might be the same case for you. But it is true. You actually have to have a goal. This is the importance of goal setting becomes apparent in terms of wealth and generating wealth. So what's occurring to me now over the past couple of days is, at least in my mind, there should be 3 different categories for my financial revitalization: long-term, medium-term, and short-term, right? So long-term for me is the Warren Buffett plan, a big chunk of money into index funds that just grow and grow and grow over time, right? And actually, my middle range is also fairly Warren Buffett-ish. That 10% that he talks about being in bonds, that seems like a good play. I would add to that in terms of, getting money back sooner, investing in REITs, and what's the other one I was looking at? Oh, investing in REITs and high dividend yield ETFs. I've been looking at both of those. There are many REITs that pay a dividend every month, and there are high dividend ETFs. Like, they are specifically set up with companies in them that pay high dividend yields. So you don't have to try to pick AT&T, which does have a very high dividend yield, for example. You can just buy the fund. And again, you can get all the companies that are in the fund at a lesser price than if you bought them individually. So that's my thought in terms of a play for middle range investment. So long term, let's just define it. So long term index funds, I'm thinking decade or more, like many years. The middle term, I'm thinking, let's just cut it in half, like 5 years or so. But having DRIP activated, we've talked about DRIP a lot, but just as a sidebar, DRIP is an acronym for Dividend Reinvestment Plan. You've got to have DRIP activated so that the funds reinvest themselves. Every time there's a dividend kick out, it bounces right back into the position you have and buys more automatically. So that can accumulate fast, especially if you've got a monthly dividend kick out, even quarterly. But a dividend kick out at all, honestly, but the more frequently you have a dividend kick out, the faster you reinvest into yourself. And so that kind of mid-range chunk can grow fast. And then my third category is short term, and I'm learning that trading is the way to make money in the stock market short term. It's called cash flowing the market, which sounds really cool, right? But essentially, it's buying low and selling high. Like, that part of it is simple. Where it gets complicated is it forces you to confront all of your demons, all of your cognitive biases. It forces you to confront yourself and your fears about money, and really work through some things. So I will just say this quickly. What I've been experimenting with is, how do I explain? Setting a small goal. So I don't want to over-explain too many things, but if you've been watching the show, you know that if you sign up for Webull using my link, you'll get free stock, right? So then you're playing with house money. That's the first tip of my how-to guide about buying stock. Use an invitation code so you get free stock. That said, once you have that free stock, what I've been doing in my case is trading a little bit. So if I get a $4 stock for free from Webull, I decide how much I want to make. Like, okay, I think I want to make 25 cents off that stock. So I set the price at $4.25, right? And I set it for 60 days, which is the maximum you can set it for. Meaning, if this stock ever hits the price of $4.25, sell it automatically and give me the dividends. right? So that has worked well for me. And I recognize for anybody who really trades stock, I know I'm sure you're embarrassed by what I'm saying right now, but it works for me as a way to stick my toe in the water. Because if the price never hits $4.25, nothing negative happens. It just stays. I just keep that same share of stock that I had up for sale. If nobody buys it at $4.25, I just get it back. So there's no risk really thus far. And so that's what I've been experimenting with. But what I've noticed is I can make a 5% return. Like 25 cents is not a lot of money, right? Until you factor in that the stock was only $4. So you can make like a 5% return on one trade. So that's significant. Like, where else are you getting 5% on your money? So all that said, what's occurring to me now at this point, at this juncture in this journey of finance and abundance, is that it would behoove me to have 3 different strategies: one for long term, one for middle term, one for short term, and to develop all 3 equally. So the folks out there who have a deposit coming back for an apartment that they just moved out of, I would offer that. Start off with Shaq's 75%, move over to Warren Buffett's 90-10, and potentially divide that even further into middle, short, long-term investment. All right, that's what I got. That's what I got. So I hope this format worked. I hope that you can see me clearly. I hope you can hear me clearly. I'm still seeing something weird on my end, but I hope it's not affecting you. Just let me know in the chat so that I know how to move for tomorrow. And keep doing. Be a hero. Be your own hero. And remember that now is better than perfect in everything, but especially in terms of investing. All right? And I will see you here mañana. Later.